Jai Hind all. This lockdown phase has for sure left most of us yearning for heading out and exploring all the exotic places of this beautiful world. But however fascinating this idea might seem, we cannot help but stay put to where we all are, right? So do we allow this monotony of our present situation to get on our nerves? Definitely not. And how do we do that? We simply let our textbook in English, First Flight, to take us all on a virtual tour to the picturesque city of Coorg in the state of Karnataka. Coorg also happens to be the second part of your chapter, Glimpses of India, from your book, right? So as you can see, dear children, I have written down a few things over here to give you an idea of what you might expect to stumble upon while strolling down the beautiful streets of Coorg. So let's have a look at them. Well, Coorg almost always throughout the year has a misty landscape, so it's full of mist and clouds, so it sort of seems like a dreamy environment, right? Then the most important thing over here that you have to actually remember in the context of the story or the context of the chapter is that it is the largest producer of coffee, of course, in India. And if we talk about the world, then the largest coffee producing country in the world is Brazil, of course. Then these two are the very beautiful sobriquets, or you can say nicknames, that this beautiful city enjoys, and they are Scotland of India and the land of warriors. You will get to know, or you will get to relate to both while we go through the chapter. And then you will also get to see the beautiful Brahmagiri hills, you know, the mountain range in the Western Ghats, right? So let's now straight away head to the chapter to discover more about this beautiful city. So Coorg is coffee country, famous for its rainforests and spices. So there is way more than just coffee in Coorg. Midway between Mysore and the coastal town of Mangalore sits a piece of heaven that must have drifted from the kingdom of God. So Mysore and Mangalore are the two cities in the state of Karnataka, and this place, Coorg, sits right in between these two cities, right? And it seems as if this town must have been drifted from the kingdom of God. What does drifted mean? Drifted means to have floated from one place to the other, you know, gently floated from one place to the other. So this land of rolling hills, a series of hills, is inhabited by a proud race of martial men, beautiful women and wild creatures. So who are martial men, or what does martial mean? Martial over here means courageous, warlike people who have a warrior kind of an attitude, right? Coorg or Kodagu. Now Coorg is the name given by the British to the indigenous Kodagu. So Kodagu is the indigenous name. The smallest district of Karnataka is home to evergreen rainforests, spices and coffee plantations. Now, apart from the fact that it is the smallest district of Karnataka, you have to also remember that it is the least populous of all the 30 districts of Karnataka. Evergreen rainforests cover 30% of this district. That is quite a lot. During the monsoons, it pours enough to keep many visitors away. Now, Coorg also happens to be one of those few places in India that enjoys the maximum rainfall. Right, so when it's the monsoon time, then it keeps the visitors away. That means monsoons or the rainy season is not at all the right time to visit Coorg. Okay, the season of joy commences from September and continues till March. Now what does season of joy? It's a metaphor, a beautiful metaphor used over here. So the season that is conducive to touring, okay, or traveling to Coorg, starts from September and it continues till the month of March. The weather is perfect with some showers thrown in for good measure. So it rains almost all the time throughout the year, but the time that is not the monsoon time is perhaps the best time to visit, and the shower that you'll get to experience during those off season of monsoon season is just the best, like it adds to the charm and beauty of that place. So the air breathes of invigorating coffee. Now obviously it's a coffee country, it's a place where you'll find a lot of coffee estates. So the air breathes of invigorating coffee. Invigorating, something that is stimulating, something that is full of energy. Invigorating, full of vigor, right? So it will fill you up. The air of Coorg will fill you up with a lot of energy. So coffee estates and colonial bungalows stand tucked under tree canopies in prime corners. So coffee estates, the plantations where coffee is grown, and colonial bungalows, after all it was a colony as well, stand tucked, hidden. Okay, they sort of lie or stand hidden or tucked under what? Under canopies, tree canopies, tree shades, right? Tree canopies in prime corners, in major locations of the town. The fiercely independent people of Coorg are possibly of Greek or Arabic descent. Okay, so these are the two theories that who are the people of Coorg, or what is their point of descent or origin. So some say that some of the people are of Greek descent, and some say that some are of Arabic descent. Now you have the reason why, you have the reason behind this theory quite well mentioned over here. As one story goes, a part of Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled here when return became impractical. So when Alexander the Great of Macedonia, along with his army, headed towards India, and when they stumbled upon the coastline of India towards the furthest west, then a part of that troop must have gotten further south along, and then they might not have understood that how do we get out of here, how do we get back to our clan, how do we get back to our country. So they simply settled over there, right? So these people married amongst the locals, and their culture is apparent in the marital traditions, marriage, and in the martial traditions. That means the traditions that involve their technique of war, or their technique of dealing with a war, or their technique of fighting even. Okay, marriage and religious rites. So the archaic Macedonian or Greek culture is reflected over here. So that is why this theory arises, which are distinct from the Hindu mainstream. Of course, the majority of the people are Hindus. So the clan that belongs to that part, or the clan that must have gotten off from there and would have further mingled with the natives of that place of Coorg, must their traditions reflect that it is quite different from the mainstream Hindu traditions and rites followed in the city. The theory of Arab origin draws support from the long black coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by the Kodavus. So Kodavus is the name of the people of Coorg, so the Coorgis, right, known as Kuppia. So the theory of Arab origin draws its support from the fact that most people over there, or some people over there, you would find wear this long black coat with an embroidered waist belt. Now this is not something that is very native to India, which is of course, this kind of a clothing, this kind of an attire is of course very similar, or it resembles the kufiya worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. Now who are the Kurds? Now Kurds, or the Kurdish people, are an ethnic group of people who are native to the West Asia. Okay, so they reside in the countries like, they are a scattered group, and they mostly reside in the countries like Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Syria, and a few others. They are an ethnic group, right, not a religious group. Coorgi homes have a tradition of hospitality, and they are more than willing to recount numerous tales of valor related to their sons and fathers. Now they are all, most of them are, most of them have that warrior-like instincts, or their ancestors and forefathers must have been involved in war. So if you just give them a slight nudge, and they would be more than happy to recount those beautiful tales of valor, of bravery, of gallantry. Okay, so to their sons and fathers. The Coorg regiment is one of the most decorated in the Indian army, and the first chief of the Indian army, General Cariappa, was a Coorgi. Right, so what does this mean? What does it mean to be one of the most decorated regiments of the Indian army? It's written over here towards the right hand side of the book, if you see. Having received the maximum number of awards for bravery in war. That is what it means to be the most decorated, or to be one of the most decorated regiments in the Indian army. So the first chief of the Indian army, General Cariappa, was a Coorgi, right? Even now, Kodavus are the only people in India permitted to carry firearms without a license. Now this might seem a little awkward, but yes, to them, to the Kodavus or to the Coorgis or to the people of Coorg, firearms and guns are like very sacred. Those things are very sacred to them, and that is why perhaps the government of India has taken this a distinction, or they have allowed the people of Coorg to carry firearms without having to carry a license for it, right? The river Kaveri, which is a perennial river, obtains its water from the hills and forests of Coorg. Mahasir, a large freshwater fish, abound in these waters. Kingfishers dive for their catch, while squirrels and langurs drop partially eaten fruit for the mischief of enjoying the splash and the ripple effect in the clear water. So the place Coorg is replete with such natural surroundings, natural environment, a lot of very beautiful, colorful, sort of naughty creatures that are going to be a very good company to you if you happen to travel to Coorg. So elephants enjoy being bathed and scrubbed in the river by their mahouts. So mahouts are the people who ride them, who take care of them. The most laid-back individuals become converts to the life of high-energy adventure with river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing and mountain biking. Now, who are the laid-back individuals? Over here it means the ones who are not that adventurous, the ones who simply like to just stay back at home, and the ones who do not wish to head out and involve or indulge in all sorts of adventurous things. It's written over here, relaxed, not in a hurry, right? So they will also become converts. Even they will feel like getting into or indulging into all sorts of adventurous activities. And what are they? River rafting, you know what it is. Canoeing. Now canoe is a narrow boat, and it's given over here, traveling in a river in a canoe, which is a large narrow boat. Rappelling is going down a cliff by sliding down a rope. Rock climbing and mountain biking. So even the most laid back individuals will feel like getting into all such things. That is how invigorating and stimulating the air of Coorg is. Numerous walking trails in this path are a favorite with trekkers. Walking trails, paths, right? Birds, bees and butterflies are there to give you company. Macaques, Malabar squirrels, langurs and slender lories keep a watchful eye from the tree canopy. Now these are all arboreal creatures. Macaques are a kind of monkeys, squirrels, Malabar squirrels, a kind of squirrels, then langurs and slender lories. Slender lories are also a species of mammals, right? So they keep a watchful eye from the tree canopy. Why? Because they happen to reside on the trees. They are all arboreal creatures. The climb to the Brahmagiri Hills, which is a mountain range in the Western Ghats, brings you into a panoramic view, a wide view of the entire misty landscape of Coorg. Right. A walk across the rope bridge leads to the 64-acre island of Nisargdhama, running into Buddhist monks from India's largest Tibetan settlement at nearby Bailakuppe is a bonus. Now Bailakuppe, in Bailakuppe you will find the second largest Tibetan settlement in the world. The first one, of course, being in Tibet, right? So in Bailakuppe you will find the second largest Tibetan settlement, okay, in the world. The monks in red, ochre and yellow robes are amongst the many surprises that wait to be discovered by the visitors searching for the heart and soul of India right here in Coorg. So this was all for the chapter, children, and I hope that you have understood the chapter, and the fact that you have not just only understood, but this was stimulating enough for you all to plan a trip right to Coorg, after the lockdown.